This TV program is intended for educational and awareness purposes only and solely as a self-help tool for your own use. The information provided in or through this TV program is in no way intended to be a substitute for the professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment provided by your own medical provider or mental health provider. You agree and acknowledge that Joy Unleashed International TV hosts and guests are not providing medical advice, mental health advice, or religious advice in any way. Always seek the advice of your own medical provider and or mental health provider regarding any questions or concerns that you might have to pertain to your own mental health.
Choosing to distinguish our strengths, our flukes, our weaknesses, and our individuality is the perfect gift we can give to the world. So, why don't we step into becoming the best version of ourselves? It doesn't matter what problems we are dealing, but the way we are dealing can significantly make a difference. The book intends to bring awareness to people on rediscovering themselves and aims to teach coping mechanisms to help them live a life without anxiety and depression. Based on the author's real-life story, the book will guide readers on the journey of understanding and rediscovering self and the freedom that comes with it. Grab your copies now.
Hello world! Hello Canada, Quebec, Calgary, Vancouver, Saskatoon, and Winnipeg. Hello USA, bonjour, Allah, hey, hello, shalom, buongiorno, salam, guten tag, ni Alma, anyong, aloha, namaste. Magandang araw, umayong adlaw kaninyong tanan. Welcome to episode 3, season 2 of Joy Unleashed. Healthy Minds, Healthy Hearts, here at MCBN TV and Pinoy Radio, Toronto. This is your host, and nagmamahal, Tita Ruth Teresa, broadcasting live. This program features an interactive discussion on wellness and optimal living topics. Get the latest entertainment and views from our local and international artists and guests on mental health awareness. Ang programa pong ito ay mamamahagi ng mga kuro-kuro tungkol sa mga bagay ng kalusugan sa pag-iisip at maayos na pamumuhay. Pakinggan po natin ang pinakabagong labas mula sa aming local at international na performers, bukod na rin sa mga pananaw na galing sa ating mga eksperto sa kalusugan ng kaisipan. Relax lang po tayo. It's Sunday night. It's 8 o'clock here in Toronto. Sit back and chill. So, umpisahan natin ito sa shoutout. Shoutouts to everyone born in November. Did you know that people born in November are found to be honest, optimistic, and enthusiastic? So let me call on people who I know who are celebrating their birthdays this week and the next week as well. Solid na rin. Eric Laurel of Switzerland. Adolfo Moraleon, Florida. Girly Lau Solihon, Crisilda Yulo, Zachary Alcoseba, Juji Bulawin. Oh, Brad, Joji, happy birthday. We have Margaret Camco of Cebu, Nancy Sinuran from Probation Administration, Manila, Diane Soriano. We have Francis Poblete Cohen, Elenita Cruz from Mississauga. Happy birthday, Maring Ellen. Rebecca Joy Raboy, Susan Roberts, Jay Quinones of BC, Goyan Lansara of Long Island, New York, and of course, darling Trina, my inaanak, Katrina Remo, my best friend for so many years, never mind the years. Carrie Buliosas. We have Dico Lagas. We have Lucas Germanese. Oh my gosh, a frosted. He's a very good baker. Matic Bernardo of Summit City. Bon Quimson, the angler. Jackie Christini of Kind Garden, Toronto. We have Evelyn Asensi here in Scarborough, actually. Sarah Javier Berg, JP Nunez. Dr. Evelyn Mercado, happy birthday, of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And my favorite and one and only brother, Donald Berengo, I hope your special day will bring you lots of happiness, love, and fun. You deserve them a lot. So enjoy. So let me start tonight's show with a big congratulations to our very own episode 2 guest, Dr. Alicia Del Prado, for having been named as one of the most influential Filipina women in the world. Imagine that. This award was granted to her by the Foundation of Filipina Women's Network in the US. This award is for her work in diversity, equity, and inclusion in the field of psychology and for developing the first Filipino enculturation scale that measures and reflects the uniqueness of the Filipino American, that's the Filipino X community, that paves the way for future research. So last week, we talked about how to deal with controversial topics. Thanks to Dr. Alicia Del Prado and her book, It's Time to Talk and Listen, we learned some techniques and new skills to harness our communication styles. Tonight, we will touch on the subject of how information affect our mental health. Yun bang too much information, no? We call that one infodemic. Marami na ring infomaniac na nandyan na marami na rin nagkakaproblema dahil sa too much information and the accountability on disseminating those information that they have. So this corona disease, no, COVID-19, is the first pandemic in history in which technology and social media are being used on a massive scale to keep people safe, informed, productive, and connected. So what is infodemic? According to WHO, World Health Organization, infodemic is an overabundance of information, both online and offline. It includes deliberate attempts to disseminate wrong information to undermine the public health response and advance alternative agendas of groups or individuals. So, misinformation and disinformation can be harmful to people's physical and mental health. Increase stigmatization, threaten precious health gains, and lead to poor observance of public health measures, thus reducing their effectiveness and endangering countries' ability to stop the pandemic. Nangyayari ito in the past 18 months. So as per dictionary naman, infodemic is an overload of information. Ito na yung tinatawag kong too much information, often false or unverified, about the problem, especially a major crisis. Quickly spreading in the news, online, and through social media. This information fuels fear and speculation, making the problem worse, not better. So we experience this in our daily lives through social media. Mahilig ako sa Facebook, no? Meron pa Messenger, meron pa tweets, Instagram. Ako din ay suki ni Mr. Google search. Hey Google, Alexa, and etc. May it be about health, politics, or religion, we are bombarding our little brains, little, kasi ganito lang kalaki yung brains natin, no? With too much information, and this has impacted our mental health. Now, misinformation cost lives. Ito masakit. In fact, in so many ways, it did cost lives. It also cost relationships. The mistrust and disinformation, mga fake news, without a doubt, proved to be the biggest challenge during the pandemic. And now, there's still a lot of tension and apprehension happening as we try to go back to normalcy. Also in politics, daming nag-aaway-away dahil sa politika. Furthermore, disinformation at one point polarized public debate on major topics, amplifying hate speech, heightening the risk of conflict, violence, and human rights violation, and threatened long-term prospects for advancing democracy, rights, and social cohesion. So we saw this. We are there and we're still there. And tonight I'd like to stream in someone whose main job is focused on ensuring we are well informed of the current events that impact us. Paula Saraza. Paula Saraza, reporter born and raised in the Philippines, she moved here to Canada in 2016 with her family as an immigrant. Paula's passion for writing and interest in live and documentary reporting paved the way to a diploma in journalism at Seneca College in Toronto. During her student years, she interned as a social media and coordinator at Heritage Skills Development Center, HSDC. It's a nonprofit organization founded by a group of women who observed a gap in the integration services available to new immigrants, refugees, and minorities in the GTA, ng Greater Toronto area, no? She then found work as production assistant and reporter for Filipino TV. In 2020, Paula Saraza got her break and she debuted in her professional newscasting career with Omni Television and their first nationwide telecast in Canada. So, ladies and gentlemen, everyone, my friends, let me stream in the one and only Miss Paula Saraza. Paula,
Hello po, Tita Ruth.
hi, good
Magandang gabi sa atin at
evening.
magandang araw po sa lahat ng nanonood.
Yeah, global po tayo ngayon.
Mhm.
Bakit nga ba kita pino? Ako dapat yung po, no? Well, anyhow, I'm so thankful and
Mhm.
for and honored actually na you accepted my invitation to guest on the show tonight.
Of course.
Madugo yung topic natin ngayon kasi ang daming infomaniac dyan kasali ako.
Mhm. We've
So,
all been there po. So,
oo. So, congratulations nga sa'yo, no? You have been really, this is your first year.
opo. Yes.
Oo. So, I'm so proud
Mhm.
of you. Ang galing mo. And also, in behalf of, makongratulate ko na rin yung si Maria Reza, no? How does it
Yes.
feel to have somebody in your field who won the Nobel Prize?
Nakakatuwa po actually. Parang kumbaga nag-represent na rin siya ng buong women in media. So, nakaka-proud.
Yes,
Mhm.
I was so surprised and actually very honored too. I'm like, oh my gosh, a Filipina Nobel Prize,
Yes.
That
Mhm.
put us again on the map. So many talented, so many intelligent and diligent people, Filipino. So,
Mhm.
yeah, marami akong itatanong sa'yo tonight. So first, tell me something about yourself. When did you find out that you want to be a journalist and why?
Grabe. Ngayon lang po ako first of all po, ngayon lang ako naka-experience na ako naman yung tinatanong. Kasi usually ako po yung nag-interview. So ganito pala yung feeling, no, Tita Ruth. Ako po ay isang reporter and nalaman ko po or na-discover ko po na gusto kong maging isang journalist. Actually, it's a funny story kasi mahiyain po ako. Hindi ko po alam kung halata yun. Pero when I started school here in Canada sa Seneca po, all I was thinking po is magbe-behind the scenes lang ako, magsusulat lang ako, hindi naman ako magaling, hindi ko kaya 'yan. So as I keep studying, as I keep participating sa lahat ng mga activities namin, siguro doon ko po na-discover na why not try to be a reporter or a journalist. And doon na lang din po with the help of my professors na nagsasabi rin na meron ka na bang kaya mo naman we think na you have this skill naman kahit papaano. And hindi ko po sinasabi magaling ako dahil until now I keep learning kasabay po yung mga colleagues ko na talagang mga veterano na rin naman po talaga sa media. So this this passion po as a journalist, nag-grow pa rin siya sa akin hanggang ngayon.
So, I'm so intrigued no doon diyan sa being a journalist here in Canada kasi marami din tayo no. Marami din yung
Mhm.
competition na ganyan. So,
Yes.
how did you land that job at Omni?
Isa pa pong nakakatawang story. Grabe kasi po syempre pandemic, hindi naman natin in-expect, well ako po hindi ko in-expect na magkakaroon ng Filipino newscast nationwide. Ganun nila naisip na kailangan na ng perspective ng mga Filipino Canadians. and kailangan na ring i-address yung mga issues ng Filipino community, Filipino-Canadian community. So this opportunity was really a surprise po. And I just tried to, subukan lang natin. And to my surprise, napasama po ako sa team. So hanggang ngayon po talagang binibuild pa namin yung connection namin with the Filipino-Canadian community. And nakakatuwa naman po kasi sobrang warm ng welcome ng Filipinos at nakakaabot na kami kung saan-saan. So naririnig namin talaga na Filipinos in Saskatchewan, in Winnipeg, lahat sila talagang nakatutok din naman po sa OMNI Filipino.
Sus, no, naisip ko nga, paano kaya mag-audition yan, mag-TV reporter na yan? Kasi, so, it's so easy when you're a singer, you just go to a club, you get discovered there and stuff like that. For a newscaster, you have a certain piece, a certain article that you have to write, or how does it go? I'm so interested, curious.
First thing po, syempre, dapat marunong pa rin po nung mother tongue natin, yung Tagalog, Filipino. Dapat po, syempre, yung pagkaka-broadcast po namin ng mga news ay in Tagalog naman po talaga. So, ayun po yung pinaka talagang tinitignan nila. And I think nakita rin naman po nila yung power ng Filipino-Canadian community. Kaya po, thankfully po, na hanggang ngayon, talagang lumalakas pa po yung presence natin and yung voice natin, mas naririnig na.
Well, we're gonna ask our technician to play one of your episode.
Okay.
I'm so glued to your voice, and how you present yourself. And in Tagalog, hirap nga akong Tagalog eh. So we have that clip.
Pitong taon ng hemodialysis assistant si Escario dito sa Toronto General Hospital. At ngayon tumutulong na rin siya sa mga pasyenteng may COVID na dinadala sa ICU.
I really think that he does more good than harm to the community here. Like, he has been working as a healthcare worker. To see him not being able to help others just because he said that he's single rather than married seems...
That's just a clip, doon sa mga news mo. And, so...
Makatarungan ng pagpapadeport sa kababayan, lalo pat nang hihingi rin ng tulong ang probinsya sa mga nurse mula Pilipinas.
Why would Canada sit here and spout all of this celebration of healthcare heroes and then not take seriously the very healthcare worker who is in front of them, who's facing these barriers to citizenship?
Nananawagan silang makialam na ang federal government at payagan ng paninirahan ni Escario sa Canada sa ilalim ng humanitarian and compassionate grounds.
In this case, it's Trudeau's liberal government that treasures our healthcare workers for working on the front lines. Put your money where your mouth is. Let him stay. If he's really the hero, why can't we keep our heroes?
Sa kasalukuyan, nakakolekta na ng mahigit 2,000 pirma ang petisyon para kay Escario. At hanggat walang kasagutan mula sa gobyerno, tuloy ang pag-uwi ng kababayan sa Pilipinas bukas alas 10 ng umaga.
The first thing is sign that petition. It takes 30 seconds. The next is to reach out to your local MP wherever you are living. Find out what their phone number and their email is. Call, send
My gosh, Paula, I have a lot of questions for you. But before we go there, commercial muna. Commercial muna tayo. Kasi matagal ang topic natin after this. Okay?
Choosing to distinguish our strengths, our flukes, our weaknesses, and our individuality is the perfect gift we can give to the world. So, why don't we step into becoming the best version of ourselves? It doesn't matter what problems we are dealing, but the way we are dealing can significantly make a difference. The book intends to bring awareness to people on rediscovering themselves and aims to teach coping mechanisms to help them live a life without anxiety and depression. Based on the author's real-life story, the book will guide readers on the journey of understanding and rediscovering self and the freedom that comes with it. Grab your copies now.
Bidang-bida ka pag nanalo ka ng bagong bahay sa pina-level up na TFC Win From Home Season 2. Just watch, answer, and win. Manalo monthly or win the pina-level up na grand prize, a brand new house and lot. Just watch TFC shows and movies every day. Choose TFC sa online form and answer the question of the day. Join us at TFC Win From Home Season 2.
Kumukuti-kutita, bumugusi-gusila, ganyan ang indak ng mga bumbilya. Kikindat-kindat, kukurap-kurap, pinaglalaroan inyong mga mata. Hay! Pasko na naman, napakasarap ng pakiramdam. Lalo na't nakapagpadala na ako ng pamasko gamit ang Emiliano at Ana's No Frills promo. Makapag-video call nga, balita ko natanggap na nila yung padala ko.
Sa kabila ng patuloy na pandaigdigang krisis dulot ng COVID-19, hindi madadaig ng lungkot at pangungulila ang sayang dulot ng Kapaskuhan.
Halina, halina, halina.
Kung kaya naman, nasa magkabilang panig man ng mundo ang layo sa isa't isa, ngayong Pasko, asahang ang pagmamahal nila'y ipapaabot sa iyo. Sa tulong ng Balikbayan Box promo ng Emiliano and Ana's No Frills.
Magandang balita mga kababayan, nagbabalik po ang Balikbayan Box promo ng Emiliano and Ana's No Frills.
Ang Emiliano Ana's No Frills sa pakikipagtulungan ng DHL ay magbibigay daan sa libre at maagap na pagpapadala ng balikbayan boxes sa Pilipinas.
Paano sumali? Mamili lamang sa No Frills ng nagkakalagang $150 upang makatanggap ng isang 20 pounds balikbayan box na may kasamang free express shipping sa Pilipinas by air sa tulong ng DHL. Ngayon, dahil ang balikbayan box mo ay ihahatid sa Pilipinas gamit ang air freight. Mas mabilis itong makakarating sa pamilya mo. Tandaan, single purchase na nagkakahalaga ng $150 Canadian ang kailangan upang sumali. Kaya, ano pang inaantay mo? Sugod na sa Emiliano and Ana's No Frills sa 245 Dixon Road, Etobicoke, Ontario. Promo period is from November 11 to 24, 2021 only. Kaya, magmadali!
Nagli pa rin ang Pasko.
Oh my, it's Christmas. Nakalimutan ko. Ilang days na lang Christmas na?
48 na lang
Yes.
po ata.
Oo. So, time na para magpadala. Magpadala na tayo.
Yes.
So, based on sa clippings, sa news clippings mo, Paula, I was also curious, can you please tell us some principles around journalism? How do journalists decide what news to write each day? How do you convey the science of a politicized issue like climate change, re-election? How do you decide when to print even national secrets?
Doon po sa kung paano kami kumukuha ng storya or paano namin napagdedesisyonan kung anong klaseng balita o storya nga po ang gagawin namin. Siyempre po, isa sa iniisip namin na yung audience. Ang target po namin is Filipino Canadians, of course. So, is it relevant yung news na yon? Is it relevant for the Filipino Canadian community? Ano bang klaseng impormasyon yung maipapabot noon sa Filipino Canadian community? Ganun pong klase. So, bago po namin mapagdesisyonan na dapat siyang ilabas, we as a reporter and a journalist, kailangan po namin mag-fact check, kailangan po namin mag-research doon sa balita or sa news story na aming ilalabas. Siyempre po, yun po yung responsibility namin na bago kami maglabas ng kung anumang impormasyon, backed up yan ng lahat ng evidence, lahat ng research, meron tayo dapat na expert para po hindi tayo masabihan ng fake news. Kasi syempre, yun nga yung purpose mo eh. You're spreading information, facts, and not fake news.
Oo, kasi marami sa atin ngayon ang fake news, Ito si Mr.
Mhm.
Google kasi, with this internet era, we just cherry pick whatever we want. And sometimes selected na what we want to hear is what we research, Especially dito sa mga diagnosis na to, self-diagnosis. Dun sa libro ko, Accountability, nasabi ko nga, sometimes I do have the tendency to self-diagnose. Too much research without sometimes, lalo na pandemic, ang hirap, hindi na nga tayo pumupunta sa doktor, nag-Mr. Google na lang. Which is really, it's very important for the people out there to know that you're not really you didn't go to school, you didn't really know a lot, so there are a lot of things that you don't know and only doctors know. So it's really important na punta tayo doon sa pinaka source na
Yes,
yung mga
yes.
experts like you sa
Opo.
mga news. A lot of fake news. Hindi ko na nga alam eh. Messenger ko ang dami nagpapadala. Hindi ko alam. Yun yung mga email, yung email
Mhm.
chain, ay my goodness, ang dami.
Mhm.
Sometimes tinithreat ka pa na pag hindi mo to ipin-forward, nako may mangyayari sa'yo. Which is, for me, that is adding fear, sa
Uh-huh.
atin. And sometimes also, the politics that iba-iba kasi ang stance ng mga tao, no? When
Yes.
it comes to politics. Pag
Mhm.
naka-receive tayo ng mga information na ganyan, pag hindi tayo, mas nasasaktan eh. Maraming nai-invoke yung mga emotions eh. So, doon sa tanong kong number 3. So, any guides or tips on managing the infodemic? How do you identify which one is a good news or a bad news?
Dito sa tingin ko po, dapat wini-weigh natin kung ano man yung nababasa natin. Gaya nga po nung sinabi ninyo na, syempre, sobrang daming information yung lumalabas. Dapat meron kang way to filter it out. Tsaka dapat, yun nga, yung mga sources, hindi lang isang source, hanggat maaari mag-fact check ka ng napakaraming beses dahil ngayon, sabi nyo nga po, sobrang dami ng fake news at sobrang dami na agad na napopost sa social media na hindi naman natin alam. And for sure, hindi naman po lahat totoo. So, ang nakikita ko po kasi ngayon, tita, dalawa na po yung dapat responsible. Hindi lang kami as a reporter or as a journalist, yung mga audience din na maging responsible din sila na kung hindi sila naniniwala sa amin, 'di ba? Meron din silang way to fact check for themselves para po talagang alam nila na kung ano man yung information na natatanggap nila is tama. So sa tingin ko po yung bad and good news, klaseng news is I think dapat wag tayong mag-stick with one source. Wag tayong nakita ko nga po is go beyond the headlines. I mean, siguro po maraming guilty na hindi po na hindi na talaga binabasa yung mga buong article or pinapanood yung buong videos. Yun na lang din eh, miski videos na po eh. Dati, understandable pa yung article eh, no? Minsan nakakatamad naman basahin yan. Kita ko naman yung headline or yung caption, okay, gets ko na yan. Pero, mag-a-assume na agad tayo. Most of the time, marami pong headlines, marami pong articles na isinulat lang para mag-capture ng saglit lang ng utak natin. Pero hindi na natin babasahin kasi for click lang nila yun. So, para po sa mga nagbabasa, para po sa mga nakakatanggap ng information, maging responsible din po tayo to fact check with credible and verified sources. Tapos po, do our own research. Wag lang basta Google ha. Kasi syempre everything's on the internet. Tignan din po natin kung saan nanggagaling yung mga source na yun. Yun nga po, yung mga nagsulat, yung mga klase ng experts po na nandun sa articles na yun or sa info na yun.
Imagine, no? So, the impact on the mental health, no? Imagine sa mga bata, they're so vulnerable, especially the
Mhm.
teenagers, they can pick it up, lahat ng news na ito. And,
Mhm.
there is also the accountability of the parents themselves to manage this information. And it's a good way to talk about it in the table. So last
Yes.
episode we talked about how to deal with controversial topics in the table, no? So I think this is really something that the family should be talking about. What is in the news out there to check up on their children. At saka pa isa pa, relation na yan sa infomaniac na yan, yung infodemic na yan na, it also may research na it also deters by yung cognitive function ng mga sa ating utak, because we focus on all the news. Ang dami nating natatanggap.
Mhm.
Naku-confuse na rin
Mhm.
yung what is true, what is, sometimes puro fear na lang, puro sad
Mhm.
news. Ang daming sad ngayon na news about people who succumb to the COVID, and then ang dami ring the way people receive that, and the way they disseminate, the way they say condolence, or people react in so many ways. So this information that we receive, no matter how menial, we have accountability and responsibility. So siguro naman pinakamainam, you talked about how to navigate it. So ang ano ko naman siguro yung we have to question, how does this information make me feel? 'Di ba
Mhm.
tama?
Mhm.
Kasi sometimes when we receive an information or a news, baga meron na yung tayong feeling surprised, feeling sad, feeling happy. Merong mga feelings or emotions na nagpi-play doon. And then baga kung magse-share naman tayo, bago mag-share, sana tanungin muna natin sarili natin, "Why am I sharing this
Mhm.
information?" 'No? Kailangan pa bang i-share natin itong information na 'to? For example, 'pag nakakatanggap ako ng email chain ba 'yan? Eh, hindi ko alam kung ano kaya 'to, ipapasa o hindi? Hindi na. Eh, kung hindi mo rin ipapasa, ang daming threat doon, eh. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, so now how do I know if it's true? Doon na 'yun sa sinasabi nun na fact check at saka yung
Mhm.
source,
Yes.
where did it come
Mhm.
from? And ito rin ang agenda. Whose agenda might I be supporting by sharing it? Ito na yung sa politics. Ang hirap ng information. Sabi ko, ang madugo ito, pero pag-usapan kasi importante.
Mhm.
Oo.
Yes.
Oo. Meron nga akong mga nakikita ko, yung mga bata, 1-year-old, babysitter nila yung iPad.
Hmm.
iPad, kung ano kaya mangyayari nitong mga 'to sa impact sa kanila, socially? Kasi magiging itong iPad na 'to, itong mga information na 'to nakukuha nila, parang nagiging yan na yung nag-a-absorb sa kanila. Ano kayang impact nito? Wala na silang social life, nasa ano na lang, iPad na lang, nasa IT na, information technology. So kung ano yung matatatanggap nila, whereas, I know it's some of the features like before in my time, merong Sesame Street, merong Toradora, yung, the ano pa ba ngayon? Hindi na ako, updated na ako sa mga sa mga bata ngayon, eh, kung ano yung pinapanood nila. So, there's also really the accountability is on the parents. Kung hayaan na
Mhm.
lang na, babysitter na talaga yung iPad, yung mga kung ano
Mhm.
na lang ang information or mga habit na nakukuha sa bata dahil diyan sa IT, sa information technology. So, ano pa nga masasabi mo? So, what do you think?
Siguro po, tita, masyado kasing ano na ngayon, eh, 'no, masyado ng, kumbaga easy solution or easy way out na kasi yung pagbigay ng katulad nga po ng sabi ninyo, kapag bata, para ma-supervise sila bigyan lang ng iPad. So, parang sa tingin ko dapat maging maingat po tayo when it comes to exposing our children, yung mga bata po, sa mga technology. Parang kung kaya po natin na limitahan na lang muna yung exposure nila, lalo na kung bata pa, 'di ba? Kasi nga po tayong mga matatanda, nahi tayo nga po 'di ba, stress tayo or kumbaga na-o-overwhelm tayo sa information na nakikita natin or nababasa natin. So, 'wag naman na natin silang i-expose ng gano'n kaaga sa sa technology, sa social media especially, na most of the time ay wala namang right supervision. Hindi naman natin nafi-filter or nakokontrol kung ano yung makikita nila sa social media kahit pa may mga for kids app, hindi rin natin
Mm.
po alam, 'di ba? So, at least I think it should be, controlled po muna yung sa kids
Mm.
para gradually na lang silang i-introduce sa social media and sa technology po.
Oo. Ang ano ko pa nga rin, iniisip ko rin 'yun, ano kaya pag-usapan talaga kung ano even the games, they're
Mhm.
on their own. These games that they play, we don't comprehend because that's not in our
Mhm.
time. At saka behind na rin na tayo sa technology 'no? Ang galing nila. Pati yung gaming siguro, it's important that we understand what
Mhm.
games they are playing. It's
Yes.
probably important na makita natin at maunawaan what is this game all about. Kasi
Mhm.
na-experience ko yan especially for the teenagers 'no. Oh my God, nagsisigaw. Sabi ko, "Ano ba 'to, ang rage nila." Buti na lang hindi
Mhm.
road rage, meron palang gaming rage.
Saka ano po 'yan 'no, kung like saan-saan na magkaka-connect, meron silang mga, streaming ano na 'no, streaming
Mm.
platforms na kung sino-sino na yung mga kalaro mo. So, nagkakakilala sa internet, sobrang sobrang ano na po, I think sobrang, free and sobrang, unsupervised na po
Hindi
ng media.
ang ano ko lang dun, ang habol ko kasi na-e-experience ko yung nag-aaway yung mga bata, you know, through gaming. Sabi ko, "Oh my gosh, this is they are so enraged, they're so passionate about what they're playing." At minsan naman kasi tayo mga matatanda, minsan hindi na natin nauunawaan yung
Mhm.
games nila. Pati ako nahihirapan akong mag-follow, ano ba 'tong Game of Thrones na ito? You know what I mean? Yung COD, naku, it's not that it's bad, pero we just have to at least siguro find out what is this game all about so tell them we can talk, not tell them, but we can talk about it. Because if we
Mhm.
tell them naman, ako naku mag-aano lang yan, they will just hide and they don't care. But I guess if
Mhm.
we talk about this, the gamings, the programs, how they feel about the program, even as young as 2 or 3, when they're watching the program on TV, we still interact with them. So how do you feel about
Mhm.
that? That's the movie that you're watching, you
Yeah,
know?
parang hindi naman po nila mafi-feel na nasho-shut, parang pinapabayaan or
Oo.
talagang pinagbabawalan sila. Para open
Oo.
'no po. Mhm.
Oo. Kasi yun yung sinasabi kong accountability para sa infomedic ko
Mhm.
naku kailangan talaga nito na hindi may stop but at least monitor at makokontrol yung dating para yung emotions
Mhm,
ng mga
yes.
bata hindi sila mako-confused. Kasi
Mhm.
nakita ko talaga kung paano itong social media, balik tayo sa Facebook 'no? Ako'y mahilig sa Facebook, pero alam mo na-feel ko na rin na sa other part 'no, kung ako ang puro na lang masasayang moments nakikita ko sa mga friends ko, kasi walang walang malungkot. Para bang talaga naman siguro sa ibang tao lalo na 'pag wala silang friends, masakit din, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or kung makikita na lang nila ang life ng friend nila puro maganda, para bang nakakainggit naman, maganda na lang ang life nila, paano na lang yung buhay ko? So
Iba-iba talaga yung ano 'no, yung impact
mm,
po 'no?
oo.
Mhm.
Ito naman 'pag sad news naman naaawa ka naman, puro naman
Mhm.
ito, puro naman very morbid naman. So, itong mga news na 'to, nafi-filter ko lang at naisip kong filter, ano kaya ang impact dito sa emotion ng mga tao? Sometimes there are people who are so insecure, no? Na nasasaktan din sila ng mga kaibigan nila. Puro na lang nakatawa, puro nakapunta, nag-travel around the world. I'm so happy for people traveling around the world kasi nakikita ko yung mga places na hindi ko napuntahan. Pero ang other naman downside nun, naiinis din yung mga tao. Ano ba 'to, sila nakaka-travel, ako hindi. Sometimes it's a
Bitter pa eh.
oo, bitter pa. Natatawa ako sa reception ng mga tao, 'no. So, hindi makokontrol, pero talagang, this social media has a lot of ano ba yung impact sa mental health ng mga tao. Naniniwala ako kasi tina-try ko, eh. So, mahilig ako mag-analyze.
Iba-iba po
Yeah.
yan eh. Iba yung impact dun sa nagpo-post, iba yung impact dun sa nakakakita ng post. Kasi sabi nyo nga po, yung iba, yung mga post nila puro happy, pero are they really happy? Hindi din natin alam. So parang pinopost lang ba nila yon para isipin na, yung makakakita nito, para makita nila ganito ang ano ko, ganito ang nangyayari sa akin, I'm happy, pero hindi rin po natin alam deep inside ko ano pa talaga yung
Truth.
nararamdaman nila or ano yung state nila at the moment.
Yes.
So medyo mahirap po talaga ang social media.
Oo.
Medyo ginawa niya tayong pretentious in a way.
Oo, at saka nakakasira sa mga relationship, Tsaka nakakasira kasi puro na lang, sometimes we're snooping on other people's lives,
Yes. Yes.
So, sometimes na-o-offended yung iba, ang iba naman natutuwa na meron silang audience. There's a lot of advantage and disadvantage of social media. There's a
Yes
lot of
po.
oo, pero itong Infomedia na 'to, grabe talaga ang impact nito. So, ang ayaw ko lang kasi yung mga fake news. 'Pag may fake news na minsan rin hindi ko alam kung ano yung fake news, eh. Kung ano na lang yung kailangan magre-research kasi kailangan mo ring i-research, i-counter ano yan, 'no? That takes a lot of time. So, I can also understand the people na 'pag may natanggap sila lalo na coming from a friend of them na they trust, of course they will believe it, no? Without checking kasi, for example, "Ay galing kay Paula ito, eh, resourceful 'to, eh, 'di maniniwala na rin ako." Without
Pero
na
ako
oo.
ako po tita, I think mas maganda na kahit saan mo pa, kahit kanino mo pa natanggap or basta as soon as you get something, mas okay na yung nagke-question ka na, totoo kaya 'to? Mas okay na yun. Kasi especially now, na marami na pong fake news, mas okay na yung marami kang tanong. Mas okay na yung nagtatanong ka kasi 99.9% hindi natin sure. So, para mas mapanatag ka at mas alam mo na totoo yung nabasa mo before engaging or sharing the post or commenting on that post, tanungin mo yung sarili mo kung tama kaya talaga to, and then do your own or do your research and try to fact check it.
Yes. At saka talagang thank you so much kasi marami akong natutunan ngayon. When I talked to you, I said, "Let's talk about Infomaniac." Infomedic, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is something that can relate to so many people out there."
Yes po.
Yeah.
Isa pa po Tita Ruth. Siguro po yung way din ng pag-solve ng mga fake news is to be, wag tayo maging close-minded kung ano man yung pinaniniwalaan natin. Kasi wala pong saysay if we see a news or an article or any information na factual and siguro hindi siya nag-agree sa kung ano yung perspective na matagal nang doon tayo na-expose eh. Tapos we should just shut it off na yan na to, ito ang totoo eh kasi ito yung alam ko. Let's not stick to what we just, yung kung ano lang alam natin. Matuto po tayo na kapag napepresentahan tayo ng bagong impormasyon, let's try to check that information too. Wag tayo mag-settle dun sa alam lang natin. So,
Exactly.
pwedeng ma-change yung kung ano man yung alam natin, 'di ba? So, mga gano'n pong bagay.
Mm. Well, lalo na ngayon, what is normal before, hindi na normal ngayon. You know what I mean? We evolve, the world evolve, people evolve, everything is changing.
Mhm.
Like after this pandemic, who knows what we can be, what it's there out, what's
Mhm.
out there. Yeah. Basta ako'y so proud of you. Tsaka din
Thank
sa
you po.
Tagalog mo, nahirap-hirap na ako. Ay,
Thank you po.
yeah. So I was trying to insert something about mental health in Tagalog. Ay naku, hindi ko talaga kaya. Hindi ako si Paula.
Okay lang naman yung English po. Kasi may mga terms po naman talaga na wala siyang katumbas in Tagalog.
Oo. So
Mhm.
paano 'yan? I mean, yung to translate from English to Tagalog, ano mo
Mhm.
lang 'yan, talagang talent na 'yan, diretso na lang? I mean,
Hindi
malabang
naman hindi naman po kasi ako dito talaga lumaki sa Canada. So, mas alam ko po, kumbaga mas lumaki po ako sa Pilipinas. So, nadala ko rin naman po 'yun. Siyempre po nag-a-adjust when 'pag nandito na, kausap tayo ng mga, talagang English speaking, yung mga Canadian. So, English, pero kapag Filipino, mas gusto ko po talaga na Tagalog pa rin.
wow.
Mm.
Naku, naku, I really am thank you. Thank you so much for guesting tonight, and thank you din sa mga mentors mo and Omni TV para,
Mhm.
to make us get to know you and how's a life of a journalist is. There's a lot of things that we learned from you tonight. Salamat, Paula.
Thank you
So,
so much.
yeah. Okay, so until next, hopefully my next time pa, okay? Huwag kang madala.
Nadadala niyo naman po ako, eh. Simulan niyo lang po, eh.
Oo, so magaling na yung talagang yung source ko ay, it's like you, as a professional. Because I can talk, I can blab about it with it, magaling talaga yung galing sa inyo. Because what it's all about, what infodemic is, what info, what it's like to be a journalist, and what's the honesty, the
Mhm.
responsibility, the reliability. Ano ba yung, ang dami nyo kasing ethics din eh.
Mhm. Tita,
In
it's heavy.
journalism.
Yun lang yung sabihin ko. Heavy yung responsibility, but if you really love your job, sobrang rewarding po sa feeling na tama yung ginagawa ko.
Mm. Ay, bago kita paano mo, not every day you guys have to have a news or every week.
Mhm.
Imagine ang
Every day po.
preparation niyan and the research. How do you do that?
Siguro po, nasanay na lang po sa fast pace, lalo pa kapag ka breaking story. Halimbawa po, good example is yung pinlay po natin kanina.
Mm.
My coverage with the healthcare worker Carla Escario po. I just learned about it that day na ma-deport na siya the next day. So, mabilisan po talaga yun. You have to chase sino yung mga taong pwede kong kausapin. So, I was able to speak with his cousin, yung organizers ng kanyang campaign. So, yung mga ganun pong bagay. So, with that little time, kailangan may impormasyon kaming makolekta at mabahagi sa aming audience.
Oo, because when I read that news, that really resonated to me. Oh my gosh, that's a big help because he's been working here for quite some time. He's a health worker. Madideport na siya. Imagine with that
Mhm.
newscast that you did, you were actually able to help the guy
Sort of.
stay here. Yes. Yeah, but that's the main thing. That's one thing too with journalism, you speak the truth and you care about the people. Kaya
Mhm.
ako'y trying hard journalist na hindi naman nagkatotoo. Bali na.
Magaling naman po kayong mental health coach.
Ay, anak ko. It comes with experience. It comes with vulnerability on my
Mhm.
side. But anyhow, thank you again. And as I've said, good luck and to Omni News. Thank you so much for bringing good news.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you so much po.
Yeah. Okay. Salamat sa'yo. So for now, we are going to take you to the car. The OFWs out there has some good song that they actually this is composed by my friend Dexter Tumang Dallara in the car, and they actually organized this with the Department of Labor in the Philippines. And there's a lot of OFWs out there in the Middle East, and this one is very well represented through this song, Filipino, Gabay Ka. Ladies and gentlemen, mga kaibigan, pakinggan natin itong kanta.
Isang bayan, makulay ang pinagmulan. Bagong bayani ang taglay niyang kayamanan. Tanyag dahil pagbabago'y mapayapang pinaglaban. Isang perlas kung saan sumisikat ang araw. Nakilala ng mundo, katapangan mo at kabutihan ng iyong puso. Ipagpatuloy mo, adikain ng mga bayaning nagbuwis ng buhay para sa iyo. Muling buhayin ang lalabat ningas ng pag-ibig mo. Iwagayway pandilang sa kisap ng dangal ng tapang at ng kalayaan mo. Ipakita sa mundo ang tiwang makabayang nasa puso't isip mo. Ika'y isang lahing pinakala ng may kapal. Katatagan at tapang mo'y inubog ng kasaysayan. Sa katapatan mo, karangalan ng iyong lipin ay itatanghal. Kahit saan pa man, taas noo kang hahakbang. Pilipino ka, huwaran ng paglilikod. Sa mundo'y siyang kapal.
Saan mang bahag ng mundo, laging nangatangking galing mo at talino. At pinatunayan mo sa bayani at pagkakaisay, makakamtang lahat pangarap mo. Muling buhayin ang alabat ningas ng pag-ibig mo. Iwagayway pandilang sa kisap ng dangal ng tapang at ang kalayaan mo. Ipakita sa mundo ang diwang makabayang nasa puso't isip mo. Ika'y isang lahing pinagmala ng may kapal. Katatagan at tapang mo'y hinubog ng kasaysayan. Sa katapatan mo, karangalan ng iyong lipid ay itatanghal. Kahit saan mananatili sa pagsisikap mo, ika'y magniningning. Ay isang langit pinapala ng may kapal. Katatagan at tapang mo'y inubog ng kasaysayan. Sa katapatan mo, kamahalan ng iyong ibig ay itatanggap. Kahit saan pa man, taas loob kang Pilipino ka. Pilipino ka. Pilipino ka. Pilipino ka. Kawalan ng paghiling ko. Sa mundo'y siyang
Mga kaibigan, salamat. Now, in conclusion, no, it helps to think of misinformation and disinformation spreading in the same way as viruses. One person might share fake news with their friends and family, and then a handful of them share it with more of their friends and family. And before you know it, potentially harmful or dangerous information is taking over everyone's news feed. But just as we can protect against COVID 19 and all these viruses with hand washing, physical distancing, and masks, we can slow down the spread of misinformation and disinformation by taking accountability of what we receive and what we share. So, ladies and gentlemen, ito, mga kaibigan, nagmamahal si Tita Ruth. Hanggang sa muli, Joy Unleashed, Healthy Hearts and Healthy Minds. Thank you, Vaughn.
Ang programang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Action Honda, where car ownership is made easy. Located at 4334 Kingston Road, Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Come to Action Honda. Whether bibili ka o hindi, it's always a pleasure to talk sa kababayan. Mabuhay!
Great car deals in action. Your Filipino friends ready at your service. Test drive at Action Honda today.